Do you think, Amy?
Yeah, the people next door moved the trailer and that mattress out sometime yesterday, but he's not even trying to paint out behind the garage and in front of his garage and on the side.
Where's this at?
Okay,
Right next
303.
door to me,
What's that address?
mine's 309.
303?
306,
306?
yeah.
306.
Sue, who was in the last meeting, have you stopped in the village office to see Dad and Carrie?
No, I didn't have a vehicle, and it was raining, and I wasn't about to walk up there
Well,
in the rain.
and I'm not trying to be rude at all, but last month we had a meeting and you said the same thing. And I believe Ms. Ayers says this is something we can handle in office. So, and if you look on the website, and I did send something on the website today. And knowing the mayor that you do, calling and telling and letting them know, but this is 2 months in a row we've talked about this. And this could be handled in the daily operation of the hours of 8 to 5 during the day.
It's been 5 years back there, and he ignores it.
He is a renter, correct?
I think so.
Yeah.
Is this Oak Street?
So,
Yeah. His
Corner of Oak Line.
dad owns that property.
It's
Yeah.
one on the corner, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
right on the corner.
That's
We got a lot of
303.
problems then.
That's
Yeah,
303.
well, you had to take him to church after the fire out.
Yeah, yep,
I turned that in because we
Okay.
weren't there.
right.
303 is already been wrote up. It's in the
Okay.
process of being wrote up.
So we do,
Okay, thank you.
yep, we do have you on the property maintenance, if you want to stick around and listen to what our outstanding Mr. Rose property maintenance guy says. And when we get to that on the
Yeah,
agenda.
that's fine.
Okay, thank you for bringing that forward.
He gets enough in his spot.
Okay.
There's something.
Any other, you guys are parks committee, so hang
Almost
out
ready.
for a minute.
Right.
All right, so now we're on to Mr. Martin, right?
Yes, Rob Martin.
Okay.
Front porch.
Got your next. Hang on.
We're supposed to have cops in this county.
Yeah, I know.
I haven't seen that.
All right, wraps up.
It is for the route through.
Well, leave my mask on. Maybe the words don't come out long enough, it should.
Hold up, Mark.
That fast ain't gonna catch it.
Here you go. There, now talk.
First off, we had one zoning for our new house at 124 East Church Street.
Yes.
What was that 121?
124 East Church.
124,
Is that Chad guy saying?
Yes.
Yes.
check that. We had one for sign for down at the funeral home. They're gonna take it from this way, turn it this way, where you can see it coming and going up down Main Street, and they're gonna make it a little larger. We also Terry's got it there for, you have,
It's a resolution authorizing the mayor to prepare and submit an application for the next year's OPWC round, which they're wanting, Ralph's recommending, what road?
Life Street.
Life Street. And that's the recommendation, and this is a resolution, you guys all got copies of it, to prepare and submit the application. So we just need a motion to accept it, and second,
I'll make the motion.
I'll second the motion, I'm sorry.
All for one.
This is for Light Street?
Yes, sir.
yes.
Thank you.
And the fire department bought a new squad, and in years past, we have purchased a squad off of them. I like to have permission to find out how much they want for and get it, because our squad is, I don't know how many years they've had it,
the sign for the funeral home, is it going to be the same sign, or are they gonna,
They're putting up a new.
like a monument?
Granite,
Yeah.
stone, whatever it is. Yeah, it's not gonna be the same sign. It's gonna have Feller.
Oh,
Feller,
Taylor.
Gary?
Excuse me?
Taylor Feller.
Taylor Feller, yeah.
It's gonna have Taylor Feller on it. He said he had a nice marble or granite or whatever it was, they put it in.
He said with the sign so flat to the building, that a lot of people don't know where it's at, with it out with the road, towards the road, it might actually help people see it.
Alderman Kirby Dunford.
We got the grant for Alderman, Kirby, and Dunford. Due to the virus, they moved everything back, and they, instead of ending in December, they gave us until next June or July to have it done. And I talked with Alan, our engineer. We're gonna get together, get the application, or the, go out for bids, I'll think of it, estimates, words. Go out for bids, bring them in, open the bids. We do not award bids that night or that afternoon. He has to go back and make sure all the figures are correct. Then I bring it to council and you vote on which company will get it. But it isn't, it's done, we got them, $300,000, something like that.
Grant loan.
No, too many figures. But, it's ready, but, everybody was already booked up, everybody got their money late, and just like the tree company, that's gonna work on the tree. They said they'd be here in September, but I know it's still got a little time in September. I know Nick wants to get that trimmed up for me.
Thanks, Rob.
Good job.
Have you called them back now, Mr. Martin? Have you called Middle High back?
No, I haven't.
Would you mind checking on them since we get our phones and everything sometime this week, if possible, if you're not too busy?
Yeah, I can do that.
Thank you, sir.
They said it'd be September when they,
Well, sometimes you have to pump the well to get it to work. Be nice and sweet talk them to get it done.
I don't call it, so you call it.
Don't have a bunch of trucks with chains on.
No, not that, not in this hammer, that.
Is the Kirby project, is that planned to start this year?
Kirby?
Yeah, the streets?
No, not that, first
Next
thing.
year.
Okay. Well, I know that
It's,
pavement plants close in January, December, so.
pardon me?
Paving plants close in December.
They closed Thanksgiving.
Yeah, it was supposed to be this year.
They're closed Thanksgiving. With the virus, they moved everything back. And they're not in the office yet, but they're still working from home. And it's all the trend from this computer to this computer. Then get moved like. But, Kirby, Dunford, and Halterman. Kirby is from High Street to School Street. Dunford is from High Street, the main, School Street. Halterman is from, Dunford to School Street. That's taken in Penn Street.
We doing that little section past the primary building behind Mr. Hill's, those three houses to the old FFA building, that little short stretch on Kirby? Is that part of the bid too, from School Street?
No, we're just going from school this way.
Yours
School
coming,
to High.
okay. If we're there and we have extra money, because that's getting a couple spots on it there because the buses are unloading there, and it's getting a little wear on it. It looks like it's been patched a couple times there, and maybe we ought to look at that. If that doesn't cost too much to put a coat down through there.
Good idea.
That'll have to come out of our pocket.
Yep, that's fine.
That'd be after the first of the year. Sounds
You
good.
want it from School Street to the alley?
To what? Well, the
Ag
street,
building?
yeah, but just Kirby really, is it come around to Oak now?
No, that's an alley. There's an alley that starts
But, yeah.
beside you, goes clear over. to,
Because it's looking a little rough there.
That's an alley there beside the.
Okay.
ag building.
All right, thank you.
All right, my favorite, park and beautification. We have about 10 people that represent parks and beautification on the committee now. So last month with some of the letters of interest and just some other people that are interested in the betterment of our community have come together and we meet often. And Dwayne, Nick and Holly and Suzanne, Heidi and Heather and myself have worked very hard on what you all have accepted for our fall festival, on finalizing some details. And I know we do need to ask a couple permissions or purchases, so, how do you guys want to go with this? All right, Dwayne, what do you got?
Okay, I'll start with what I know that there is a want to purchase two 10 by 20 tents to make a 20 by 20. From somebody that has done that for like 3 or 4 years, it gets really, really aggravating putting up that tent, taking it down, putting up that tent, taking it down. And no matter where you store these tents, wherever they fold, dust lies in the center of them. And I've power washed them, I've scrubbed them, I've had my grandkids scrub them, I've done everything to try to get it. And it never seems to, after a year, they just look bad. Now, that's just my take on what the purchase tent was. Now, I went out to Personal Touch, which I have a relationship with, as far as renting a 20 by 20 tent and also having 3 sides in case of inclement weather and having a light strip for the 20 by 20. So all I just said right there, the lighting, the sides, which we may or may not need depending on weather, and the tent itself comes to just a little bit over $443. They would come in on Friday, set it up, and tear it down Monday. Now, with that being said, I approached the Village Food and Spirits. They do not wish to have it on Friday night. They wish to have it on Saturday afternoon. I know our list of events, and I just don't think that would be good to go from one spot to another spot to another spot to another spot, when you could actually hold your chili cook-off on Friday night there, and then you could also start your parade there on Saturday afternoon. If the kids are going to parade from there to wherever, you can start there with your costume contest and end it wherever you're going to end it at. I don't know if I hinders you, Heather. I know you're working on a parade route for the kids, so we can maybe discuss that if it does or if it doesn't. But yes,
You say you're gonna have a parade?
So this is what we came up with. Wednesday night, an art gallery walk. However, we would get all the art from people about 10 days before, and so far, every storefront along Main Street is willing to post the art. And then on the 28th, Wednesday the 28th, from 5 to 7, with council approval, we could have an art gallery walk, and they would vote for top 2. Thursday night, games. Friday night, chili cook-off. Saturday night, a parade. That's how we initially thought of this event, in lieu of trick-or-treating. Now, I know there are some people that are wanting trick-or-treating, and so the Parks Committee is going to present these ideas to you guys on if we do both, trick-or-treat night on Thursday and game night, or just the parade, or what have you. And so that's kind of where we're gonna go with what we need council approval for. Yes,
I know Lancaster and Village of Carroll's both have trick or treat on the 29th.
yes, and Pleasantville. So my concerns, council, if it's inclement weather and governor decides to cancel, or it's inclement weather in Pleasantville, Bremen, Lancaster, and everywhere else, and they decide to come here, we have that many more people here in our village. That much more risk of contamination. I'm a big kid and I dress up every year, so I don't want to take away. I'm just voicing my concerns. We spoke last month as to the art gallery walk, the chili cook-off, the game night, and something for Halloween. So I'll be quiet and let you guys finish presenting.
So I think I should finish up and say that I would like to have the chili cook-off on Friday night before the football game from 5 to 7 and have it in the lot across the street from the municipal building.
And need a purchase of the tent for that.
And need a rental
Permission.
or purchase of the tent.
Do you guys want to hear the rest of what's going on before you decide on how to do the chili cook-off?
I could also speak.
I think that's an easy
I
one.
could also speak on the game night.
Okay.
Amy and I's got we have purchased a trailer. It's a 5x10 trailer, and it has concession doors on both sides. When you open the concession doors, I got 55-inch TVs on each side. I'm not gonna rent it to the village. I'm gonna have what do you call it? Gratuitous, I'm just gonna lend it to the village to kind of get the name out on what's going on, and then we want to have a video game night for the kids to either have a tournament of some sort, whether it's, Call of Duty, whether it's Halo, whatever game they're playing now, Fortnite, I don't know. But that's our idea for Thursday nights. I've spoke on Thursday night at my location, and I know there's other games that want to be held in other locations around town. And then I've also spoke on Friday night, the chili cook-off across the street. And both events will be held across the street from the municipal building in that lot for my traders.
We let them add to, and then you guys wrap it up. So Heather, Heidi, Suzanne,
Stacy had all the way first because I had the candy bags when we were considering about just doing community donations and filling bags, so every kid went home with a bag of candy. So I don't know if, do we want to go there, if we're gonna have trick or treat?
right, so that's something we need to decide. If we're having trick or treat, or if we're just gonna do the parade and have the Village of Amanda buy candy bags and accept donations, and then the Parks Committee would safely stuff the bags and give the people a bag of candy at the end of the parade.
So what do you need, a motion?
Well, I need to also still listen to two more, and you guys help decide. Do we want trick or treat? Do we want just a parade? Do we want both? That's where it's odd times to decide this and all the contamination.
Kids need trick or treat, we need trick or treat.
Okay,
So what's the parade?
Put it on
Yeah,
the
let's
table
hear.
right now.
I would like to do both. Go ahead, Ralph, and then
I
Heather.
think personally, instead of you deciding what all the people in the village wants, why don't you ask them, do you want trick or treat or not?
I have. I've talked to numerous people that want it and numerous people that don't. And so the Parks Committee has worked so hard on art gallery night.
I'm just saying, I feel that you should go and poll, tell them to write it down, put it out there, and if you get 20/20, then you guys don't have to decide. But if it's a majority of one way or the other, that's the way you should go.
Well, I like doing
I
the
think
whole
you're
festival.
trying
I think we need to go on tonight, because we done this
Well,
one.
let's hear what Heather has to say. I like the idea of having art gathering night, and then game night, trick or treat, and then chili cook-off, and then a parade.
Before you go to Heather, I see some disdain on Suzanne's face about the bags. Are you
Oh,
upset? Okay,
not at all.
okay.
I'm just thinking.
So do you have the bags in hand, as of right now, or?
I do not have them in hand.
Yeah, where
They
has
have-
council purchased?
Yeah, I have the bags available, 500 for $49, they're orange, they're this color. Have handles, reinforced handles. I
All right, Heather, what you got?
Okay, so, we had a conversation just the other night, I'm just gonna share that.
Yeah.
So, I called Charlena because, I don't know if you guys know, but I have a house on Main Street in Delaware. And every year, my family comes to my house for trick or treat, and it's a big deal. I have dinner inside, I have a big family, we dress up, we have a lot of fun, and it's very enjoyable for all of us. It's been a little weird this year, okay? So, my family wants trick or treats. And so when I shared with them that I was gonna be on the Parks Committee and that we were trying to come up with some alternatives, I got a lot of backlash. And so I have a couple opinions, okay? First opinion is, people are going to have trick or treat, whether you say you're going to have it or not. I personally know people who have said, I'm gonna hand out candy because I want to, and I know people who are gonna come and their children are gonna get candy from my house. It's an individual's right to do on their property, law-abidingly, what they choose, okay? But, and, I don't think that, honest opinion, I don't think that the restrictions that we're going through today are gonna be the same restrictions in a month. I think everything's gonna gradually loosen up. So I personally would love to see trick or treat on one of those evenings. And I really think that you don't have to make it a big deal, you just say, hey, trick or treats from this time to this time, and let people do what they do. If you wanna participate, awesome. If you don't wanna participate, fine. I came up with a proposal for the parade, which is the end of the celebration, and I think there should be a candy handout. I think that businesses who are in the village may not feel the same as individuals. They may be under more restrictions because they're a business, and because of the things that have happened over the last few months, they may not feel safe handing out candy in front of their business. They might put their licensing, in jeopardy, or personally, they might get backlash because they are a business. So I have a couple of folks that, I work at Matt Taylor Kia, they're gonna donate candy. I can already say that. I have a few contacts that I network with, such as the Wolf Radio, who's really excited to come out and be part of our parade, and he'll donate candy too. They usually participate in a trunk or treat, and it's been canceled this year. So they're looking, some businesses are looking for venues where they can be a part of the community and really help out with that. What I have proposed is I've got, I made up sheets. and
Yeah,
guys
pass them
read
out,
them.
yeah.
It's at the end, so I know that there's not got stuff.
Yeah, so,
Saturday trick or treat,
No.
parade, and then everybody goes.
trick or treat and game night on Thursday, parade on Saturday.
From Thursday to Saturday, just 2 years ago, that was
Okay.
council's decision, and I think
Do you wanna do trick or treat and parade on the same night, or? Yeah.
Halloween's
I
on
think that's
Saturday.
gonna be a lot.
Yeah, it's supposed to be on Saturday, yeah.
Well, I think with when you have trick or treat, you've got a lot of kids running in a lot of different directions. If you're trying to have a parade, somebody's gonna get run over.
Is the Saturday trick or treat thing something that goes on?
Yeah, the village has done it,
on Saturday for like the last 3 years.
That's like, that's something that's already
It's been for years.
standard.
It's already established.
So, this is the actual call.
You know, before, it used to be the events. And
The
then,
school has,
you could always have a parade, and then you see the email, you don't need that now?
The school has generously offered a place to start and stop. So when you have a parade, you need to have a lineup. So they offer their parking lot, which I think is a nice big spot. The goal was to, I've been around for 48 years.
Wow.
I know, right? I remember the days when we had parades with the Soya Festival, the Fireworks Festival, you know, and after everything got canceled this year, I really kind of longed for some of that hometown feeling.
Yeah.
And so to have like the firehouse, the band, and we need to, you know, get all these people on board still. We do have some tentative, like, hey, I want to do this, it'll be fun. Go ahead.
I do have an opinion. I mean, prior, for years, we've always had like kid events prior to, and then go. We switched it from a Thursday to a Saturday years ago because the consensus was that people didn't have to rush for school the next day. More parents were able to do it. They done it, the first Saturday we done it, switched it was because of a tornado. We had to postpone it because of tornado. So, and from that point on, everybody's like, yeah, we liked it better on Saturday. That's why it switched to Saturday. My opinion is, since you're doing these events one every night, and then you're wanting to do a parade, the kids are already dressed up on the day of, on Saturday. So instead of doing the family events, the little crafty things, have them do their parade, and then follow the parade trick or treat. That would be my opinion. Because they're already dressed up, this way you're not having to dress them up 2 times in a row.
We don't have much people running home.
Right.
To get their kids ready.
Exactly,
Plus, I think if there's a parade before, it might draw more people in.
exactly.
Yeah.
Well, and the registration is important, so you have to be part of the registration process to be in the parade. And then we don't have tons of people from other countries, communities. Not like I wouldn't welcome other people, it's just to keep our numbers down and cross-contamination down. I kind of like that idea too.
Plus, if you're gonna have costume contests, it's a good idea to know what you're dealing with ahead of time.
Right.
You know, and to know how many people are gonna actually be in the parade.
Yeah,
So the registration was really important.
I like the idea of trick or treat, Holly.
So I will say that Mrs. Meyer has agreed to let the band be a part of the parade, and be in the parade. She just needs time and concrete information, so that she can get everything set up for the band and parents. I do know that, as she was saying, Mr. Dick has graciously agreed to allow us to use the little school to start the parade and the big school to end as the end point. And he's also agreed to allow the band to participate in the parade. So this is something that has grown, and a lot of people that I've spoken to are very excited. I do know that ACC, Pastor John, I spoke with him, he is down for games. I know that Heidi has talked to Pastor Chris at Frontline, he's down for game night. I have to still talk to the Methodist Church, but in lieu of games, I know from talking, the games that they're looking at are non-contact games. So like, I talked to Pastor John about like maybe a tic-tac-toe where they in advance make a sheet and pass out a crayon that's disposable, or maybe a bingo where it's like fall themed and they hand out stickers, whatever, so that there's no contact and they can play games that are quick, simple, family friendly, and reduce any kind of contact. The other thing with the parade is that we are asking that people maintain their social distance outside of their family. We're asking that they still wear their masks, even the participants in the parade will be required to wear their masks. And we're still trying to adhere to all the guidelines, because the problem is, even though, you know, moving forward we want to do all these things, they all have to adhere to the health department guidelines. If we do anything outside of that, we're liable. As a village, we're liable for lawsuits. As a community, new beggar's night, children go from house to house to house. So every child comes in contact with every resident. That's how many hundreds of children that come in contact with each resident and their parents and whoever else they bring. And I know that some places have decided to move forward, but I guess we need to look at this in both directions. What people want, what's safe, what the CDC is mandating, what the guidelines are, and exposure. You know, if we give 40 people the virus, then that's how many school children, how many people in the community, how many other people. And you can't control people from other communities coming to Texas. You're not going to be able to control that. So those are my concerns. I know there's a growing interest in the parade. I'm not saying don't have beggars night because I understand it. Trust me, normalcy is something that I think every single person in this village, room, school district craves at this point in life. None of us want to have anything more abnormal than what we already have. Our kids have lost so much. I have a senior in high school who has no dances, no field trip, no national convention, nothing.
So to quickly nip it in the bud, what we need approval
I'm
for,
gonna make the motion to have trick or treat for kids. I want to take-
can we do the trick or treat at 4 o'clock on Saturday, parade at 5:30?
Yep, I'll make the motion.
Sorry, we've always done trick or treat.
I want to have trick or treat for kids and pray on Saturday.
Parade at 4 o'clock on Saturday, then trick or treat at 6 to 7:30
Yep.
on Saturday. Friday night, do we have, do we need spoons or clay cups or anything else for the chili cook-off? And do you have registration?
That's a $20.
We've got some
Okay.
bowls, small bowls.
So,
It's a
you guys
word,
good
yeah.
with the chili cook-off on